Hey there everyone, this is Cloud Chief. In today's video, I wanted to take a few minutes and talk to you about how you progress to make a mythic weapon. Before you can even start working on a mythic, you first need to progress through all of the treasures missions, and you also need to obtain Captain by completing all 50 of the assaults. While you could start collecting some of the items that are needed to complete the mythic, you're not going to be able to turn any of them in until you've finished all the missions and gotten Captain. The next step in the mythic making process is to actually get the base weapon itself, and you get this by going to Nyzul Isle. You can get weapons from any NM that randomly drop, and they also drop off of all of the bosses on floors 20, 40, 60, 80, and 100. By being on a certain job and being the one who takes the group up to the floor and clearing floor 100, you will guarantee a drop of whatever job that was that took the group up. Once you have the weapon that you want to turn into a mythic and you are captain rank, you can go ahead and trade the weapon to Naja's assistant. You also need to clear all 100 floors of Nyzul Isle to obtain a runic disc to be able to trade the weapon to Naja's assistant. Next, there are a bunch of NMs you need to kill. However, if you have previously killed them, you do not have to go back and kill them again. You need to kill all 4 chariot bosses in the original salvages. You need to kill the 3 beastmen that are in the treasure zones, and you need to have completed the Odin chamber. The game checks if you've cleared these NMs by having the title. You can also double check it by being on this step and talking to Naja, and she will tell you what you've completed. Once you've killed all the NMs, you need to go talk to Naja and you will get a cutscene. After the cutscene, you need to head to Nashmau, and there will be a mouse NPC that you need to talk to who will start you on the next steps that you need to do in creating a mythic. Now this next step in the process of making a mythic is quite lengthy, just warning you. Next you need to go and complete all 50 assaults again, and you need to have these books. You need to make sure that a particular book you trade to the rune of release before you complete the assault to get credit. Next step in the process is you're going to need 100,000 ichor that you get from Einherjar. You get these from clearing the chambers, and it's absolutely best that you do the last 3 chambers, as that gives the most points besides Odin, but Odin is not worth it as it's much more time consuming. If you do the 3 highest tier chambers, you get close to 2,000 points, so it'll be a couple more runs than 50 to get all the points you need if you're starting from 0. Next step in the process is you will need points from completing Nyzul Isle. You need 150,000 points, which is a lot, and you get these by completing floors. The more floors and the higher the floors you complete, the more points you get. When I was doing this, we found it best to have a mule take us up to floor 96, and then we just tried going as high as we could go, so we would go past floor 100, and the points continue to scale up past 100, like it would be floor 101, 102 when you go back to floor 1, etc. And we would go as far as we could until the time was going to run out. We would typically, in about a 26 to 27 minute run, get anywhere between 6,000 to 10,000 Nyzul points. Next step is the biggest step in this process, and that's collecting the 30,000 Alexandrite you need to complete the mythic. If you're trying to farm all the Alex yourself, the best place that I've seen to go is to the Arpago Remnants 2, and you can average about 100 Alex a day farming there. This zone, though, you can only do once a day. I will be having a separate video come out that specifically shows in detail how you can farm this zone. Baflau Remnants doesn't have a lockout and is apparently the next best place to farm Alex, but I don't know about that as I do not have personal experience doing that one. Also, you can get 1,750 Alexandrite from Ambuscade each month. So by spamming out Ambuscade, you can buy them from there. They cost 15 Hallmark points per each piece of Alex. Also, people typically bazaar Alex anywhere between 6 to 9k depending on which server you're at. So just making money and buying Alex will help speed up the process and is highly recommended. Once you finish and turn all of those items into the mouse and Nashmau, you can then move on to the next quest in the process of creating your mythic. Next, you need to go to Whitegate and click on the actual Whitegate that's to the palace for a cutscene. After that, you need to go out near the entrance to Einherjar, and there will be a tombstone that you will trade the tier 4 Zeni NM trophies to the tombstone for the next part. You want to make sure when you beat the tier 4 Zeni NMs that you keep the trophies so that way you can trade them in, and you don't turn them into the NPC for a Pandemonium Warden pop, because you would typically turn the trophies in to get to the next tier of NMs, but you need these for to finish your mythic. I will be having another video come out that goes into details for Zeni NMs from start to finish, for how you can actually get the currency to purchase the items to pop Zeni NMs, and kind of the paths that you might want to go that seem best for popping them to get this step done. The last step in making your mythic is to do a BCNM called Forging a New Mythic that is in Nyzul Isle. Before you enter the BCNM, you want to have your unfinished mythic equipped. When you go in, there will be a boss, and you only need to get this boss down to about 50%. Once the first boss is out of the way, a second boss will spawn, and this will be a former boss. You cannot kill him until you go through this progression. First, he will weapon skill you with the weapon skill of your mythic. After that, you will have access to the weapon skill if you haven't unlocked it already. You then need to weapon skill him at 1000 TP, somewhere between 1000 and 2000, so you get level 1 Aftermath. Then you need to weapon skill him somewhere between 2000 and under 3000 TP, so you're getting level 2 Aftermath. Then you need to weapon skill him at 3000 TP and get the level 3 Aftermath icon in your status bar. After you've gotten all the 3 levels of Aftermath, you can then go ahead and kill him. The boss cannot die until you've done all this, and does have regen. You will get 10 TP per tick during this fight. After that, you want to head back to the tombstone, which is where you got your pop so you could enter the BCNM. Then after that, you need to head back to Whitegate and check the Whitegate for a cutscene. Then after that, you need to go talk to Nadja, and congratulations, you are now finished your level 75 mythic. To continue upgrading your mythic, you need to go through Magian trials, and once your mythic is 99, you can upgrade it to 119 via Obero. I hope this video helped you out with the whole mythic making process. I hope you got some value out of it, and may you have success in all you do.